Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and say thank y'all so much for everything that y'all have done, commented, good and bad comments. I appreciate it. Um, I could cry right now because I didn't really realize this until a few minutes ago. My YouTube channel is 9 years old today, and I'd got to thinking, like, the whole reason I made that channel was because I like to sing, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I can grow a little bit. But back then, I didn't have, I guess you say, the courage. But I was talking to my daddy, and I was like, should I make a YouTube channel? And he was like, that's up to you. And I was like, I asked him, I said, what is your general opinion of it? He said, Shy, just go do what you want to do. I mean, you ain't going to know until you try. I was like, valid. That was a valid point. And the whole reason that got me started doing it was I wanted to put myself out there singing. And starting out, I wouldn't do no karaoke because I was like, oh my God, I can't sing. My mama told me I could sing. My daddy told me I could sing. Just about everybody told me I could sing, if we're going to sit here and be honest, but I didn't believe that. And there's still parts that I need to work on personally, but I know I can sing. It's just getting myself there. And the more you do it, the better you get, which is what Mom and Daddy always told me. Practice makes perfect. That with the piano too, and we ain't even going to talk about that. I had a short temper with that thing. But but our favorite country duo, most of y'all have heard of Joey and Rory. I can't say it right, but y'all know who I'm talking about. But most of y'all do. Most of y'all probably don't. But she had cancer, and we were following her, and for some reason they inspired me to sing. Like, sing. I was like, okay. And then she passed away that March. And then not long after that, my brother passed away because he had cancer too. That's what made this worse. And I was like, okay, well, like you said, you ain't gonna know till you try. So I started singing and all that. Well, May of 2018, May 3rd to be exact, it was 9:30 in the morning. I got the call that I needed to come to the hospital because my daddy had been sick. And they said he wasn't gonna make it. And in so many words, I said, what do you mean he ain't gonna make it? Because I just talked to him the day before. And I was in school to be a nurse when originally I was in music. And Daddy told me when I transferred into nursing, he said, Cheyenne, you ain't gonna like it. I'll tell you right now, you're not gonna like it. I said, Daddy, I gotta try. And I said, I take care of you, I take care of Mama, I take care of other people. Why you think I won't like it? He said, Shy, you just ain't gonna like it. Well, I didn't listen. Needless to say, I should have listened. But 9:30 that morning, he ended up passing away. I walked into the room, and I held his hand, and he looked up at me, and he died. So I kind of quit doing music a lot. I mean, I was still doing it off and on, and then all of a sudden I just quit. Because Daddy was my whole world. So then, fast forward it, in 2022, that August, my boyfriend of 7 years, he kind of got me started back on it. He said, Shy, you should go back to do it. And that's when I started Los Angeles Film School to be a music producer, because I was like, okay, well, maybe I can learn to write my songs and then produce my music and then all this. So I started doing that. Well, then November of that year, because remind you, this was August of 22. So November of 22, he ended up passing away. So at that point, I didn't know who to grieve more for, him or Daddy, because I didn't know how to do both. And then Mama was still sick in the nursing home, so, and there was a lot of drama between my family between all this, but we're leaving that out. But anyway, and then July 15th of 2023, my mother passed away. So I was in and out of school and all this, and I was like, okay. Well, then I had to sell my house to pay for my mother's funeral, and I was living in my car, I was living with other people, I was doing this, I was doing that, and I couldn't continue school. So I was like, because Daddy's main wish was for me to graduate college. It didn't matter what I done, as long as I enjoyed doing it and I was taking care of myself. So I said, just keep going. Well, then in 2024, December the 20th, I hit a laced vape that had cocaine, fentanyl, meth, and altogether it was 9 different hard drugs I didn't know was in the vape to start with. I hit that at work, and I flatlined 3 times, and I remember seeing, Mama and Daddy and Hayes and everybody, and I was like, not thinking, I was like, I don't want to leave. And I don't talk about it much because it just hurts. And I met my boyfriend last year, now we're engaged, and I live with him. And him and his brother's done so much for me, especially dealing with my mental breakdowns. And I told him, and I asked his brother, I said, how do you tell somebody you love? Because I love them both. They're like my lifeline, if that makes sense. They're my best friends. And I was like, how do you tell somebody you love that you don't want to be here no more? And I asked my family that too, because I said, I don't. So this year, well, actually the end of last year, I was like, okay, well, maybe I could write songs about it. Maybe I could sing about my personal experiences, and maybe it can help somebody. Maybe I can make a purpose out of this. Because if it ain't my time to be in heaven, then, something's got to give. And because I'm not able to work no more, and I enjoyed what I was doing. I was assistant manager at a grocery store, and I loved it. I loved the people. I loved the customers. But I couldn't do it no more. But needless to say, this was a backstory of what really got me started in music. And I just want my music to help not only me, but people that are suffering from mental health and suffering from losses and family dramas and just everything. And I hope it does, because my YouTube channel, in the last 9 years, has went from 3 for about 4 or 5 years to 75 and over 1,000 views. But I hope it helps. But I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.